Hi, I'm Linda from Barladi's Body Blitz. Danny's workout YouTube channel has asked me to do a workout for you that will help you to do the splits more easily. So this is an advanced stretching style workout. I will be doing a little bit of dynamic movement to warm up to begin with, but if you need more of a warm up, please do that and come back to it. I want you to be really warm because we will be doing some quite advanced deep muscle stretching, and I don't want you to injure yourself, okay? So let's get started. First of all, we're going to bring our legs into a parallel position and then come down quite nice and low. And I just want you to pulse. So hold your tummy in, you're hinged forward at your waist, and you're just pulsing down into your legs. We're trying to heat up all through the muscles that we'll be stretching. Now, splits are not for everyone. They're definitely something for people with more advanced flexibility. That's not to say that you're any less fit if you can't do them, but like any muscle, you can continue to grow and challenge yourself and get more and more flexible. So this is what these stretches are going to do for you. If you continue to do them along with your other exercise routine, you will find that your flexibility will increase. So just keep challenging yourself and don't give up. Perseverance is the key. So you should be starting to feel quite a bit of heat through the front of your leg. Now I want you to start dropping lower and pulse down with your glutes. So by shifting our weight forward, you will start to feel your hamstrings at the back of your leg engage as well. Looking down at the ground so that your neck is in nice alignment with your spine, and make sure your back is really nice and flat. Now I want you to go down, 2, 3, and straighten. Just a soft straighten to start with. Down, 2, 3, and straighten. I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Down, 2, 3, and lengthen. You don't have to actually lock out behind the knees. You can just stretch up with a light bend in the knee to begin with. And as you get warmer, you can stretch out straighter and straighter. If you have trouble doing this, then you might want to put your hands on a yoga block rather than on the floor. 2, 3, and straighten. 2 more like this, and straighten. Last one like this, and straighten. Now turn your feet out wider, and we're just going to sink down and pulse so that we're starting to open into the inner thighs. In fact, put your hands up onto your knees and start pulsing quite deeply so that you really feel the stretch through those inner thighs. Hinging forward slightly will also help you to engage the inner thighs predominantly. All the way down, just pulsing. All of these squat type exercises heat up the muscle the quickest, I find. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to start rotating over and to the side. Make sure your stance is wide enough so that your knee never juts out over the toe. Okay, so you're shifting to the side and around, all the way. Around and around. 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to go the other way. So you're hardly straightening out of this. You're loading all of your weight into your heel, and you're just circling your body, keeping your back flat, your tummy's pulled in, your upper body is really nice and relaxed. 3, 2, 1. Now turn your feet to the front, nice wide stance, and shift side to side. If you can, put your fingers on the ground, and we're stretching into that inner thigh in a dynamic way. Heating up, down and down. So don't push down too far yet. Just want to make sure that you're warming through those muscles really well. And down and down. Back flat, looking down at the ground so your neck is in nice alignment. Cross and cross. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now coming into a lunge position, just down and up, down and up. So as you come up, press back through that heel slightly. It's down, press back. Just a very light press. So you're stretching out through the back of your leg, feeling it all the way down to your calf, but you're also heating up through the front thigh, feeling it a little bit in that hip flexor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now step back, bring the other leg in front, and same thing. So knee down and back. Pushing back with that heel. Pushing back. You can see the angle is very wide, so my knee is coming out above my ankle, not jutting out over my toe. It's very important. And I'm pressing back with the front leg as well as the back leg, almost straightening out, but not quite. Just a tiny little micro bend in the front leg for 3, for 2, for 1, coming up. And one last thing, in a chair position, pulsing. Just pulsing, and then we should be really nice and warm. Back flat, tummy pulled in, arms in front for balance. And then we're going to hit the mat. All the way down, heating up for 8, 7, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Awesome job. Now sitting down on your mat, I'm just going to turn on an angle so you can kind of see all directions. You can bring your legs further than hip width apart and just sit up really nice and tall. So you need to make sure your tummy's pulled in and your shoulders are down and back, and you're sitting up almost like against a wall. If you want to, you can do this sitting against the wall. Then bend one leg in, and I want you to grab your foot on the inside, okay? And we're going to start stretching out like this. Out. Out. Okay, so you're sitting up really tall, your shoulders are relaxed, and you're just stretching out to the side. If you can't do this, then you can hold on lower, like on your calf, down and up. So still dynamic movement to make sure that every part of that body is really warm before we get into the really deep muscle stretching. Up and up. All the way to the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now grab the outside of your foot, and we're going to do the same thing. But this time you have to bring your knee in closer to that armpit. Okay, so all the way out. Out. You're still slightly in front of the body here, but you should feel that stretch a little bit more in that hamstring. Out. Out. Really start to straighten behind that kneecap. We're aiming to get it perfectly straight for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Now we're going to do directly in front. You can grab both, and it's up and down. Okay? Try to keep your thigh in contact with your body, and then try to extend straight. Down and up. You're helping yourself with those hands. You're pushing your heel into your hands, and you're really locking out behind that knee. Think of straightening. Should really feel this in the hamstring. And up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now grab the outside of the foot with the opposite hand. We're going across the body, across the body, okay? So you can bring that other leg in, so it's directly out in front of you, across. If you find it hard to hold onto the foot, hold onto your shin. Keep sitting up tall, help push yourself up with that other hand, across. So what we're doing now is stretching the outer hip, across and across, for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Great job with changing legs. So exactly the same thing. Make sure you're sitting really, really tall on your sit bones. Your back is really straight. And we're grabbing the inside of the foot first and out to the side. Just out. And pointing Pressing your heel into your hand. Sitting up straight. Shoulders down and back, don't let them hunch. And you're pressing behind that knee. This is mostly for the hamstring. Out. Out. Just 5 more like this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now grabbing the outside of your foot, so your knee is on the inside of your arm and out. You can do this a little bit slower. Really extend. Because your leg is closer to the body here, you will feel the stretch more. And you should feel it more on the inner thigh as well as the hamstring. And out. And out. Keep sitting up tall. Rounding will actually stop the stretch from being as intense. So keep your back flat. That's why I suggest sitting up against the wall when you do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring your leg in and we're going to grab underneath that heel and it's both up. Both up. Keep it into your body. Keep it in contact. So the thigh is in contact with my body. Up. If you can't, then just bring it in as close as you can. Up. Up. Really straighten out behind that leg. Press that heel into those hands to push up and straighten. Locking out. Up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And grab with the opposite hand and we're going across. Across. Across the body. I'm going to move so you can see. Across. Across. So the main emphasis is stretching the outer thigh and glute. Stretch. Stretch to the corner and pull in with that arm at the same time. It's really important to pull in to intensify that stretch. Okay, so hold on to your ankle or hold on to your calf if you're finding it too difficult to hold that foot. You can even use a strap here around that foot to give you a little bit more room. And up, back straight, tummy's in. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Now we're going to start opening up and start to work on the inner thighs. Okay, so just come into a wide stance, point your toes away, kneecaps are really nice and flat, so you're locking out behind the knees, and then just come down to wherever you feel comfortable. Keep your kneecaps turned up to the ceiling, don't let them tilt forward, and just keep coming down. And we're just going to hold this for a while so that you can feel your muscles warming up and lengthening out. And the warmer you get, the further down you'll be able to go. So start to wiggle through those inner thighs. Find a point of challenge and start just moving your knees, just slightly wiggling, and then come further down as you can. Now these stretches get easier with time, so if you want to do this in front of the TV and literally sit in this stretch for 20 minutes, you will notice a huge difference in your flexibility. If you don't have the time to do that, then just try to add them on the end of your leg workouts so that you really lengthen out the muscles after you've worked them. Strength exercises contract the muscle, so if you don't lengthen them out again, your flexibility will suffer. Okay, so as you get warmer, okay, you can keep wiggling, you can flex and point, and you can come down lower. Just really try to challenge yourself. Now I'm a bit naughty, I definitely don't do enough stretching as part of my exercise routine, so I can't actually do the front splits. If you can, that's fantastic, and these exercises will still help you anyway, but yeah, I'm not a great example with that. I can do either leg, so side to side splits, but front has never been my strong point because I'm a bit lazy with my stretching. But this will definitely help you if you are trying to achieve those front splits. So now that we've sat in this for a while, I want you to come up and I want you to actually push forward even more. Push forward, bring your hands behind and push your chest to the front. Very important to anchor your heels in, keep your kneecaps pointed to the ceiling, and you're actually pushing your body forward, pushing your hips forward, all the way forward. Really feeling that stretch, opening out wide, and feeling everything just getting longer. Opening up. And if you want to, you can actually come off the ground and push up. So that's intensifying even more. So lean back, tummy's in, and push your hips up, anchoring with those heels. All the way up. And as I said, the longer you hold this, the better. Now coming down, what I'm going to do is walk your feet in and just turn that one foot down and come onto your knee. Now we're just going to work on one side at a time. So push down, keeping that inner thigh facing the mat, and just elevating that foot like that for a while will give you a little bit more range of motion. So you can just push. Imagine you've got a heavy weight on the outside of your thigh, your kneecap is still facing to the front of the room, and come down as low as you can. You can sit down all the way onto that other heel. And if you really wanted to, you could actually very carefully place a weight on your outer thigh. But you'd have to be very careful there to push that leg down even further. But you can achieve the same effect just by using your muscles and really thinking about pushing down to the ground. And then coming up and just coming in very gently and bringing the other leg out to the side. And you're sitting down, you can sit down all the way and pushing down to the ground with that inner thigh. Putting pressure in the foot, keeping the front of your thigh and your knee facing the front, and really thinking about pushing down there, trying to get your thighs closer to the floor as you can. The further you walk this knee out, the more you'll feel the stretch as well, because it means your chest can come closer to the floor. It's all about getting your chest down, not your head, but your flat back. Let's hold that for a little bit longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now the final stretch for the inner thighs, and this is where you're going to be able to test if you have gotten flexible enough to actually do the splits. Now, as I said, I can't. You extend your legs as much as possible and then come up so that you are in parallel line with your legs, and then just come down as far as you can. Support yourself with your hand to begin with, and then if you can, actually drop down your thighs to the mat. Now this is as far as I can go. I'm not going to attempt to go any lower, but if you can, actually sit all the way down. You can flex or point here, but you will feel those thighs opening up. Even just holding this will help you eventually reach that point. Just hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm close, but I'm not quite there yet. Now, in order to do side splits, you have to have mobility not only in your inner thighs, but also your hamstrings, your outer thighs and hips, and your hip flexors. So we're going to start working on those now. What I want you to do is bring one leg in front in a runner's lunge. Now just start off like this, okay? So you've got a nice wide stance, you're up like this, and you're starting to feel that stretch through the front of your hip. You're just leaning into it. Make sure your hips are parallel. They're directly in front, like headlights pointing straight ahead. Don't allow your hip to turn out. And you're just going to sink into it, really starting to feel that opening up and lengthening. Once you get that more, you can walk your knee slightly further back once you get warmer and start to just push into it even more. Opening up. Stretching can sometimes feel a little bit painful. Just like when you're doing strength exercises and you're challenging your muscles to pick up more weight, in the same way, stretching is challenging your muscles by stretching them in the opposite directions and making them longer. So it may feel a bit uncomfortable, but just like with the strength exercises, if you don't go a little bit beyond that burn, beyond that discomfort, you'll never grow through it and get better. So obviously don't work through pain, but if it's simply just this stretching, challenging feeling, then just sit in it for a while, breathe through it, and you will feel that it actually gets easier and easier, and you won't feel it in the same position. Next time you'll have to go a lot further down to feel it. So challenge yourself with it. Now I want you to walk your foot out slightly so you have a bit more gap in between your hips, and bring both of your hands to the inside. If you can, come down on your elbow. Okay, you can come down on both elbows or you can just stay up. If you want to, you can walk your foot in a little bit more and just support yourself. Try to still stay facing the front, and you're just coming down a bit further so that you feel that stretch even more intensely. Now start to roll your toes under. Make sure you're really nice and flat through your shoulders so they're both facing the front. Put your hand in the middle here and push up so that you're in a, almost like a plank with your leg in front, and push up through that kneecap to intensify that stretch through the hip flexor. Then touch down with your knee and push up. Touch down and push up. Really locking out behind that knee. Push up. Be very careful. All these movements have to be controlled, and you need to find the best position for your body. Everyone's slightly different. Now just come down and hold it. You're stretching out your hip flexor, but the other leg you're actually stretching the glute a little bit. And now come up, and we're going to bring this leg under like a pigeon pose to stretch that glute. So bring it under you, quite bent to begin with. Flatten your other foot, sit on top of it really straight, and then come down. So you should feel the stretch through the glute of this front leg. Keep your hips down. Don't allow your butt to lift up, but really press down, stretching out through that side, relaxing through the upper body. And as you get warmer, start to bring your foot out further. That will intensify the stretch. You'll immediately feel it more, so just find a position where it's out far enough for you to feel that challenging burn in the glute muscle as you are lengthening it. Don't roll out like this, okay? Try to stay on top of it. Try to imagine your hips parallel. And just sit there for a bit longer. Really feeling that. And then bring this leg in, and we're going to stretch out. You can just bring it in, and we're going to stretch down towards this other leg. So we're stretching the hamstring now. Okay, so just keep the other leg out of the way, wherever you want to put it, and come down once again with your chest towards that leg, towards that thigh, and you can flex your foot up or you can point. It doesn't matter too much, but make sure your kneecap is facing the ceiling. You can help by pushing against that foot. Make sure the leg is straight. There's no point rounding your back and coming down with your head. It's a flat back and then down. Keep this leg straight to the mat. Actually lock it out, tense behind there. Squeeze the front of your thigh in order to keep it flat. And keep your elbows down so that you know your shoulders are parallel. Now come up and bring this leg in, and we're going to grab onto this leg and lift it. So now you're going to feel the hamstring as well as a bit of inner thigh as you bring it back. So holding onto that, flexed foot, and really straight back, pushing that foot into your palm and stretching to the side as well as the hamstring. If you can, put your foot into your hand like this, your heel into your hand, that way you can stretch higher. Really upright through the upper body, and just hold that stretch. Just hold it. You can point and flex. Every time you flex, you should feel it burn. Stretching out longer. Point and flex. Great job. Now we're bringing that in and we're going to do that whole series on the other side. So starting off in that runner's lunge, bring the foot really far forward, nice wide angle. And you're just going to sit here for a while, pressing your hips forward. So remembering they're like headlights pointing at that wall, and allow your shoulders to be in line with your hips. Don't turn open to look at me, and just sit here for a while, sinking in to that hip flexor, feeling the front of your thigh stretching on that back leg. Just breathing into that and coming down a little bit further with your hands, maybe walking that foot out a bit further. You really need to personalize these stretches because everyone's different. Everyone's leg length is different, their upper body length is different, their flexibility is different. There's so many things that will make your workout or your stretch slightly different to mine or anyone else's. So please make sure that you find a position where you're challenged, where you're not feeling any pain, but you are feeling like you're achieving something. Okay, so once you've done this for a while and you're feeling that's quite warm, walk both your hands to the inside of the foot and widen that stance. So bring your foot to the side of the mat, and if you can, come down onto your elbows. You might want to walk the foot in a little bit more, it's up to you. Just find that position that's comfortable for you. And once again, concentrating on keeping your shoulders parallel. Just really pushing into that hip flexor. If you want to roll out your knee a bit by turning your foot out, you can. I find it a bit more comfortable. And really pushing into that. Now start to roll that back toe under and lift up. If you want to bring your hand here, you can to support you. And just lift up, stretching, really flexing out behind the knee. Then come down for a second and up. Down and up. Make sure your shoulders are parallel, don't turn out like this. Down and straighten. Down and straighten. Now count down again. Foot flat, hold it for a few more seconds. Breathing deeply, back is flat. Now coming up, and we're going to bring this leg underneath us in a pigeon stretch. Okay, walk the other leg really straight behind you. Your kneecap is facing the mat, not turning out towards the back. You're sitting directly on top of that, and you're keeping your thigh on that mat. Don't roll out in a funny direction, just straight ahead, above that leg, and then coming down, so you're really parallel. Every time you breathe out, try to sink a bit lower. So deep breath in and breathe out and walk your elbows out more. Feeling that opening and lengthening. And if you can, walk your foot out to the front more. So the more parallel that shin is with the front of your mat, the more you'll feel this. But you need to just find a position that's right for you and then come back down, and you should immediately feel that burning a bit more. Just find a point of challenge. Really feeling it just there in the glutes. Stretching that out. If you do a lot of bar exercises like me, your glutes are like constantly sore. So this feels fantastic. I don't know about fantastic actually, it might feel torturous, but you know that it's going to do something good to your butt. Sinking lower. And then coming out of that and bringing that leg in and stretching the other one up, and you're bringing your chest down in that hamstring stretch. So once again, use your hands to keep your legs straight so that your kneecap is facing up to the ceiling. Put your hands either side of that calf if you can, and just look down. Keep your back flat. Don't round, keep it flat, and then come down. Stretching out through the back of the leg. Try to push that knee down, keep it down. That's going to intensify the stretch. Really feeling that. And then bringing that other leg in. I'm just going to move for a second, and we're going to grab the inside of that foot and bring it up. So it's a hamstring stretch, and then push towards the back. So you can even angle your toes towards the back. So you're stretching your hamstring and a bit of inner thigh. You should feel that inner thigh engaging. Just hold yourself really upright. And if you want to grab lower on your heel, you can. You can push even further. You're also pressing your heel into that hand. Pressing really nice and long. Holding that tall back, shoulders down, don't hunch up towards your ears. And then slowly coming in. And now we're going to turn and we're going to actually work in the split position. So bring one leg forward and the other one walk it back. Now support yourself with your hands to begin with. What I want you to keep in mind is that your kneecap is facing the ceiling, your other kneecap is on the mat, and you're not turning out. Don't turn out, you're completely straight. Lift up on that toe. Feel that position. You're putting your weight into all 5 toes equally. It's as if you've got a piece of string from your heel to the back wall so that your leg is straight. Now come back down, flatten through that back foot, and slowly allow yourself to come down. Now, wherever you're able to, obviously. If you can come down and put your hands by your sides, like this, fine. If not, then just stay up a little bit higher. But just keep trying to think of a straight line. Obviously, you're not going to be exactly in a straight line because your legs are on either side of your body, but try to keep both your knees down and just press into that. If you're not ready, then keep the back foot under and just come back up on that knee. And you can start just pressing into the front more, like this. And if you want to work the back more, you can even bend the leg under and go back to that pigeon stretch and then flatten your foot and press up while you are in this position so that you're pushing your thigh further and further into the ground. But if you can, try and work in this lengthened position, even if you're up here, and think about stretching long away with your feet as well as down, and just help yourself with those hands. And just sit here as long as you can. It will get easier and easier. Okay, we're going to try the other side now. One side will probably be more flexible than the other. So once again, starting in that perfect position where both your knees are facing up or down and your hips are parallel, and you're just starting to walk yourself out. Just hold it here, hold yourself up on your hands. If your hands are getting sore, you can make fists and just hold parallel. And as you feel that becoming a little bit more nimble, more flexible, you can walk out further and further until you can come down, if you can come down. Now, on your weaker side, you might find that your back leg wants to turn out more, and that's natural. But mine's wanting to turn out more, and that's a flexibility issue mainly in the inner thigh and the front of the thigh, the hip flexor muscle. So try to just hold that higher until you can lower yourself down straight. And it may take weeks, it may take months for you to achieve that, but just keep trying. A bit further, a bit further. And just hold it. Breathe through that burn. Okay, now bringing it in, very carefully, very slowly, bring your legs together. You should really feel intense stretch, especially through those inner thighs. And just coming down like this, walking it out. One last stretch, which I will show you simply because I've been using it a lot lately, and I've found that my hips have been very tight. So it's not so much to do with doing the splits, although it will still help you. But I find that by stretching out the hips, you just have more mobility, more range of motion in general. So I want you to come into like a side plank position and bring your foot in front. And then I want you to come up and press your hip down. So it's almost like you're just pressing, feeling the side of your hip. You're allowing it to sink down. So you're holding yourself up on that hand and the leg outstretched here. You can have it at the back if you prefer. I like mine at the front. And I'm just allowing the weight of my body to really sink in there, sinking down. The more you allow it to come down, the better. So even if you elevated this somehow, like putting your leg up on, not a chair, but on some yoga blocks, so that you can have a bigger scoop with your body, that would actually stretch even more. Then you can actually come down and stretch. Try to stay really straight this way and stretch up. If you want to hold onto your leg, stretching up, really feeling it through the side here. Really high. Push up with that arm as much as you can. And along the same lines, bring the leg in front and your knee into your opposite shoulder and push down with those glutes. And you can actually stretch towards the back here. Make sure your glutes are down, otherwise you won't feel this as much. And then on the other side, so stretching out that leg, you're in perfect alignment, the other foot is in front, your wrist is underneath your shoulder, and you're stretching up and then allowing your body to sink down. Okay, so you're really allowing it to stretch through here. Almost touching that hip to the ground. Really pushing up through that palm so that you feel the stretch, giving yourself a bit more room by pushing up through that palm. You could put a yoga block under your hand as well. That will give you more range of motion. Really feeling that stretching out through that top of the hip and your obliques. Now coming down, then just come up and push through that hand in a more vertical position. Hold on to that knee and curve out. And then bringing that leg across, hugging it into your chest and curving towards the back. Keep your glutes down here. And there you have it. Hopefully those stretches will have helped you to feel more flexible and lengthened so that you feel more confident when attempting to do those splits. I look forward to working out with you again in the future.